Hello, darkness, my old friend.
We've come to really suck again.
The Phoenix Suns are reeling.
But you can help us with your feelings.
Donating to Ryan House is quite appealing.
For you.
So do it now.
I don't know the rest of the song.
By the super chat.
Dang, this is impressive.
That went further than I thought it would go.
It did.
That's
Well
what- never
done.
mind.
Well done. Hi, everybody, and thanks for joining us for the PHNX Suns postgame show. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe wherever you get your podcast, and leave us a 5-star review. I'm Lindsay Smith here with Saul Bookman, Gerald Bourget, and Espo. And, you know, it's one of those things. It kind of sucks tonight because the Suns lost to the Lakers 122-111. But as Espo and Saul so beautifully sang, we are still doing really cool stuff here in the postgame show. It's PHNX Community Day. And what that means is every single super chat from today's show is going to be collected and donated to Ryan House, which is an amazing organization. So get those super chats coming in. Nothing will make you feel better about this Suns loss than supporting your community and doing right by the people who need it the most. So it'll help you feel better, I promise.
It will
in
help
many
you feel
ways,
better.
many ways.
Very much so. Like, listen, these are kids that really need help, and their families could use your help. And we want to reward them for all the things that they're having to go through. And so this is one way to do it. Help yourself out. Help us out. Help the community out. Feel better.
You're talking about the Ryan House kids, not the Suns, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But we know that you probably still need a little bit of therapy. So before we go too deep into telling you all about Ryan House and all the other things, let's have a little mini therapy session. I feel like everyone is kind of in their feelings right now, myself included. In the pregame show, I told you I felt like this was a must win. If for nothing else, morality boost. Like, it's just sad and somber right now as a Suns fan. And I get Deandre Ayton will come back and Kevin Durant will come back and things will look completely different, but it still sucks in the moment.
Yeah, it's not fun. It's not great. It's not great at all. Listen, I think there's so many different things that you can point to, but at the end of the day, the biggest thing that I keep going back to is just defense and fouls. Listen, at some point, when you have as many fouls as the Suns have, and honestly, watching today's game, I would probably say 15 to 20% of those fouls were probably questionable. The other 80%, I thought was they fouled them. Like, they straight up were out of position. They weren't in position. They had 4 offensive fouls off of screens, off of pick and rolls alone, because guys aren't getting set and the ball handlers aren't setting up the picks. Like, I mean, it's just sloppy. It's absolutely sloppy basketball at the worst possible time. So it's a mixture of the defense and the fouling for me. Shooting wise, they were kind of inept in the first half, but they picked it up enough in the second half, certainly to win the game. But again, it's the first 2 things that I pointed out that are the problem.
I agree that the Suns defense was atrocious, and a lot of those calls on that end were rightfully called, right? What I didn't like, there were a lot of missed calls on the Lakers when the Suns were on offense.
Yeah.
Devin Booker getting slapped across the arm and not getting called. They overturned the most egregious one where they called an offensive foul on Devin Booker when he got slapped across the face. Luckily, they overturned that because it was challenged, but refs are really bad at their jobs. That has not changed. That is still very much the same, but that's not why the Suns lost this game. Austin freaking Reaves goes off in this game. Like, where's the defense? What happened to this team being able to play defense? And I get it. Deandre Ayton's out, so you lose an anchor of that defense. You've traded away one of your main defensive pieces in Mikal Bridges, but even sometimes the effort felt sloppy on the defensive end tonight. This is very much back to the old days.
I am not freaking out about this. I know that's going to be contrarian because it never feels good to lose to the Lakers, and the streak is over. Emma, if you could pull that up, because we have to bid goodbye to this, and it's sad, but after, was it 12 straight games if you include regular season, playoffs, and preseason, the streak is finally over. And of course, it happened in the first game where Jay Crowder is with his new team. It's sad, yeah, and you never want to lose. This is one of their more winnable games of the week. They had time in between to rest up for it, and you look at the standings, they're really tight. Like, it's not impossible for this team to fall to 5, 6, possibly 7, but you got to look at the loss column. They're still 1 up on the Clippers, and they are right on the cusp of owning that tiebreaker with them. They're 2 up on the Warriors, and they're 3 up on the Timberwolves. So, like, the sky is not falling for me. I understand people are angry with Monty for whatever reason. Like, Monty needs to lose his shit about the officiating, about the foul discrepancy. I think we talked about this in pregame, the Fred VanVleet thing. We saw sort of immediate, even if they're back channel repercussions for that. But other than that, like, why are we going to sit here and pretend like the sky is falling when they don't have their best player and their 3rd or their 4th best player? Like, and they traded away Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson for this best player who hasn't been able to play. You can be worried about that, but us sitting here and acting like Torrey Craig's going to be playing 25 to 30 minutes in the playoffs, like Busy's going to be starting, like guys are in roles that they're not currently in, and they're not going to be in come playoff time. I can't get up to be concerned about that right now.
I don't know if necessarily, I mean, I'm not looking at Twitter because I refuse to look at Twitter during games because the most egregious of takes happen during these games. But what I will say is I think there's a sense of concern because of the fact that we don't know when DA and KD are coming back. And by the time they come back, will it be a little too late I think is probably the fear. Like, I think most fans do not want to be in the play-in. But at this rate, at the way that they're losing these games, if those 2 guys, or at least one of those 2 guys, doesn't come back soon, you're looking at a very real possibility that you're either going to be in the play-in or, God forbid, you're completely out. And I don't think it's going to happen.
They've lost 5 of 6 and are still the 4th seed, and they've lost 0.5 games of ground in that time. Like, why are we acting like these teams are hot on their heels or some shit?
Dude, they lost 5 out of 6.
They've only lost half a game of ground
from the 12 spot. Who's in the 12 spot, and how far back are they?
They're 3 games back. It's
3 games back.
3 games back. Okay, so obviously those other teams have to play each other, so things will even out. But I mean, you could literally, like I said before the game, like you could literally see a scenario where they lose 3 or 4 more in a row before any one of those guys come back. And that's the concern. It's the fear of the unknown. You don't know when these guys are going to come back. You don't know if this team's going to start to gel, at least to get a W here or there, just to kind of, stem the momentum that they've lost. I mean, it's a little concerning. I think it's fair to be concerned at this point.
It's fair to be concerned. The panic is overdone. The Fire Monty shit is getting so tired and old. Like, fuck, man. Like,
what was Monty supposed to do? Check himself into this game?
Right.
Like, there wasn't
throw
much.
a chair.
Monty wasn't fouling everybody.
He was screaming at the refs.
Well, he didn't throw a chair, so it wasn't enough.
Yeah, let's get him suspended for 5 games.
Right.
That'll add up.
Again, there's levels to this concern, right? It doesn't have to be fire the coaching staff. The KD trade was a mistake and all this other stuff. No. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is just the fact that, like, listen, these guys are in a tailspin. They're trying to figure it out, and they're trying to figure out really, really quick, and they could lose ground, which would put them in a different position than they were before the skid started. I don't think that's egregious to say that.
My concern is a team like Minnesota, who just got back Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Edwards. They're sitting 2 games behind you. They've won 2 in a row. Do they get hot? The Warriors have won 2 in a row. They're sitting a game back of you. Like, I'm not concerned that this team's going to fall to 12 and out of the playoffs, but how hard does this road get? How long are you without KD and DA? Is DA something more serious? Could this linger into things? And does your first round series become that much more difficult because DA isn't fully healthy? Those are the things. I don't have answers to the questions that are making me the most concerned about what's coming up, right?
So that's why I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to get worked up over things that we have no idea
But I'm concerned about the next 2 games, right?
That's fair. And like I said, I'm not saying that we should all just be sitting around holding hands and be chill with where the Suns are. But, like, holy shit, guys, I just, the panic, the freak out is crazy. Acting like this team that we're watching, which is not a good team, which is not fun to watch, is the team we're going to be watching come playoff time. Like, I don't see it.
Gerald, you gotta let us feel our feels.
You can. I didn't say you can't.
Well,
the panic,
you're implying that
is too
we're
much.
going too far with it, but we're allowed to feel our feels.
The panic
we are
is going
allowed
too
to
far
have a
with it.
little bit of panic. Look at what happened to us last year at this point in time in the season, right? We locked in that 1 seed. We took our foot off the gas. Everyone was like, you included, it's okay, guys. They're going to ramp back up in the playoffs. Then we got freaking mollywopped.
And I would stand by that because you know why? That was one of the most inexplicable fucking thing that's ever happened in playoff history.
I get that,
Is it
but
not?
what I'm saying is now it looks like we're on the same path, and it's terrifying.
Hindsight is fantastic.
Yes,
It's
but that's
interesting how
what
that
I'm
works.
saying. That's what residual from last year is making us concerned right now as well.
Yes, that's trauma.
So we're allowed
That's
to
not-
feel the feels, though, is what
I'm
I'm
not saying you can't feel the feels. I'm saying the panic is overdone.
Maybe a little bit,
They
but
beat
you also
Sacramento on Friday. They beat Sacramento on Friday, and everybody's in the chat like, "Oh, we're so good. We're good. Look at what we did in the standings. We're fine." Like, fuck you guys.
What multiverse did we bounce
every
into?
Game we do this every game. After every win, the Suns are going to win the title. After every loss, we're going to fall out of the playoffs, and we need to fire Monty. Like, for the love of God, can we find a medium ground?
We did it.
Fuck,
We did it.
Our world.
it's nuts.
I mean, to be fair, it's not just one loss right
It's
now.
not just one loss. If
It's
it
a
was
series
one
of
loss, or if
losses.
it was two, I would maybe understand more of your frustration with
the
this,
way-
Gerald. But putting a string of losses together is going to make people feel some type of way. It's going to cause some panic, and that's not out of left field.
And that's when you like attribute how they lose these games. A couple of these games, they haven't really been close because they were missing some key players. You melted down in the fourth quarter against OKC, a game you should have won, could have easily won. And then tonight, you pull it to within one, and again, you fall apart in the fourth quarter because of sloppy play, turnovers, and bad defense. It's like it's just repeating over and over and over again. And so I can see why people are kind of freaking out and they're panicking a little bit. Like I totally get it. I don't believe that they're going to fall completely out of the playoffs, but I will say that I'm concerned as to where they're going, and hopefully they can get right, or at least just stay right there, hovering above, like that, maybe that 6 mark until KD comes back, until DA comes back, and then hopefully that'll help get them to the finish line, so where it's not awful.
Gerald, can I go nerdy with you here?
Yeah.
Break it down in a way that I think you and I can talk here.
Sure.
One bad Marvel movie, you don't panic, right? Right? We can say it. Ant-Man and the Quantum Realm. Not.
I like it.
I mean, but like not the best, right? Not the best, right?
I was like, pick a different
But
one.
okay,
not that one.
let's look. Pick whichever one you do.
Shazam.
All right?
Blech.
That
Well,
wasn't. That's Steve. Let me get
DC,
there.
man, come
Look,
on.
let the nerds talk, Saul.
Yes,
let the
we'll
nerds
just, we'll
talk.
just have a sidebar over here.
But then you look
get
at the
your point,
DCEU, right? And you get 4, 5, 6 films, and you're going, well, this might be a total tailspin. Like, we're not pulling up for one bad movie. We just got a lot of bad films right now.
I mean, you're the one that goes to DC movies. I don't touch that shit, man.
Well, okay. You don't touch that shit. Well, we've got 5 of 6 DC movies right now in the Sun Pass schedule. So,
And there's more coming, folks.
Yeah. You could have Black Adam and Shazam 2 coming up this weekend. All right.
But we're acting like DC is not going to get back 2 of the best in their roster. Like, I just...
I'm not saying they won't. I'm just saying right now we got at least 2 more bad movies we're sitting through before the Flash shows up, all right?
We totally are. Like, this hasn't been fun to watch. Like, tonight was a complete slog fest, but I don't get why acting like this is the team that we're going to be watching a few weeks from now. And I've said this before, with the state of the West, with how piled up it is, it's all about matchups. It doesn't matter about seeding because this team with Kevin Durant and DA can beat anybody in the first round. Like, they absolutely can. I'm not worried about
but Gerald, I can't look 3 weeks in
know
the
you
future
can't. That's
because
why
I got
I'm
2 things I got to look at this week.
I mean, if Kevin Durant
Oy
misses
vey.
2 more weeks, okay, let's just say for shits and giggles he misses 2 more
Was
weeks.
definitely out until next Thursday.
Yeah, that would
Yeah.
be concerning.
I mean, fuck. Like, you literally could find yourself outside of the playoffs.
And that's the thing. I think that's why there's a little bit of panic is because we don't have any official updates on Kevin Durant outside of the first update. We've been retold the first update we got from the Suns. We heard it tonight on the broadcast as well. He'll be reevaluated next Thursday, which is exactly 3 weeks, the same 3 weeks the Suns told us initially. In a perfect situation, Espo, your theory about them building in an extra week for that ramp-up time, because we got that weird 2 weeks, 3 weeks from Shams and Woj, that's fantastic, but we can't bank on that.
Well, that's
so
best
if there
case scenario.
is, right, so if we do find out next Thursday that there is another week of ramp-up time, that's why there's so much concern, because you can spiral and you can see how this can get out of control if Kevin Durant does take a little bit longer, if DA, something bigger is going on. And I think it's fair to have concerns.
I think it's also irresponsible to speculate that there's something bigger going on with DA. Like, that is purely driven by a fan impulse of fear. That's not driven by anything that we've gotten until we get an update on DA.
But
I'm
even
not
regardless,
fucking even touch that.
Regardless about DA, Kevin Durant, that's a legitimate potential.
Yes.
Legitimately, that is a potential option that happens with KD where he's out 2 more weeks.
I'm not disputing that.
And even with DA in this lineup, the Suns lost games without Kevin Durant. So does DA help in a night like this? Yes. Does he help on Sunday night as well? Potentially, yes. Does DA change this team enough to where we can keep our heads above water if KD is out 2 more weeks from now? I don't know.
I don't either.
I don't know.
This isn't panic, though. This is 54 years of
trauma,
of being taught that this is the way things tend to go around here. And like you said, I'm a DC fan. I live in a DC universe. You live in a Marvel universe. Everything looks sparklier on your side of the aisle. Yeah. I'm dark and gritty on this side. All right. And if I'm hoping you're right, like I don't want you to be wrong. Like, tonight was an ugly basketball game. Yeah, we've seen some bad basketball since KD's been injured. And we went from, oh, this is going to be great, they're going to be able to push for 2 or 3, to, oh, shit, where does the parachute come out? Mm-hmm. Like, where do things stop the skid, right? And that's just a weird juxtaposition.
That's a good analogy, because I can now envision skydiving, flailing to the earth, and you're like, and Gerald is the skydiving instructor, like, oh, it's fine. Parachute's going to open just fine. But when is it going to open, Gerald? I don't want to hit the fucking ground.
I see it so close. It's
all right. Listen, I'm going to put a pause on this chaos because we've yelled at each other for like 12, 15 minutes now.
To be fair, you guys have yelled at each other.
This is true.
That's you guys just watching the show.
I mean, you did yell a little bit, Espo. No lie. We're going to do a couple of super chats here real quick because we have quite a few that have come in. Thank you all for those. Jeremy, thank you for your $20 super chat. Said something to soothe the pain. Love you guys. We love you back.
Thank you.
Connor, thank you for your super chat. Said you got my super chat. We appreciate you. Cesar said, look, I'm not advocating for violence here, but if Monty wants to pull a Bobby Knight and throw a chair at a ref, I ain't going to be mad about it.
Either. I ain't going to be mad.
I'm with you. I would be okay with that. At least we got a little bit of emotion out of Monty tonight.
We did.
I was happy to see that much.
Yes.
But I'll take more.
Yes, we actually have the video of that if we want to bring that up.
Yeah, why not? Let's look at it real quick.
I spoke with Joe last week. I can sit here and rant and rave about what I feel like is not a fair whistle. It's just not. With the 46 free throws, we're doing the same. We're attacking the rim. I'm getting explanations about we're taking too many jump shots, mid-range jump shots. We're playing a physical game. They had 27 free throws in the first half. They end up with 46. When do you see a game with 46 free throws for one team? Like that's just not right. I don't care how you slice it. It's happening to us too much. Other teams are reaching, other teams are hitting, and we're not getting the same call. And I'm tired of it. It's old. 46 to 20 free throws. Right. With Devin Booker on our team. He gets 12. Josh gets, our bench had no free throws. That's just, I'm over it. Been talking about the same thing for a while. Doesn't matter what team it is. Last game, Shea gets, I think he had 19 free throws. 19, man. And it's old. And so I'm tired of talking about free throws. Our guys have to do their job. We understand that. But that's a huge disparity. 46 free throws. And I'll say it again, 46-20. That's it. That's all I got to say.
I like that.
We've been asking for it, and it finally happened. Monty gets his rant. Hopefully he gets his fine, and hopefully we see a little bit less of a massive disparity in free throws. Because tonight they fouled a ton, like they did, and a lot of those free throws were warranted. But the 46-20 thing is rough, especially when you see Book driving the lane, gets hacked by D'Lo, no call. Those things can add up, and they can be frustrating, and it's hard to focus on other things. So hopefully from here on out, it'll be at least a little closer.
Again, the thing that I liked the most about what Monty said was just call it the same way both ways.
Yes.
Like, call it the same way both ways. The Lakers getting bailed out left and right on these fouls. And sure, yeah, a majority of them were fouls. Well, guess what? A majority of them were fouls on the other end too, and they weren't getting called. And that's a problem. Like, that's a legitimate problem. But again, like, the thing that I'm going to go back to on, and I'm not even going to say that I was paying attention to the Lakers defense necessarily, but the Suns defense, there's far too many times where they do get themselves a little bit out of position, and then they resort to trying to reach and at some point you're going to get caught, time after time. They got to be better on their rotations. They got to be better playing on the ball, and getting those feet more active than they have been. And it's just one of those times of the year where, like, listen, I think guys are they're feeling it. They're feeling the end of the season. They're trying to hang in there. These guys have more of a load on them than normal, and it's not the ideal time of the year. Hopefully they can figure it out.
The only thing I wish he did was drop a name or two.
Yeah.
Go full Fred VanVleet and force the league to look at specific people. That's the only thing I wish. But they needed it. I mean, sure, he's going to be 30,000 lighter in his pocket, and hopefully the league goes, maybe it is time to look at what's going on in these Suns games, because that's Monty Williams, and that's the most angry I think we've ever seen the man. So.
Him getting up and walking out immediately after was a statement coming from him for sure.
Yep.
Listen, all we can do is hope that this helps at the very least. It may not completely course correct, but it can help a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's all you can ask for at this point. And shout out to Monty for finally putting some oomph behind those words and not being afraid of the fine or coming off any type of way. Ishbia should cover that, to be honest with you. Just throwing that out there.
Or Book. Book's got
Or
the
Book
cash
too. That's true. One of them. All right, we've got a couple more super chats we want to get to. But first, March Madness. We're in the thick of it. And if you want to stock up with all the snacks, the beverages, everything you need to sit down and enjoy March Madness, Circle K has you covered. They've got iced coffee. They've got Polar Pops, 12 packs of beer for just $9.99. Red Bull, Monster, we know around PHNX. Those energy drinks. Those are fan favorites. So check them out. They also have some good deals on sweepstakes and on all of the stuff that I just mentioned, like the energy drinks. So make sure you guys are not missing out on all of this great stuff and be stocked all March Madness long. Head to circlek.com/store-locator to find a Circle K near you.
Oh, shit.
All right, hold on.
Yeah.
Hold
the
the
brakes.
phone.
Oh, shit.
Keeler? Are you for real right now? You just dropped a $500 super chat
Keeler.
Wow.
with the note for the kids. This was also their first super chat ever.
Let's
We got that
go.
note in here. Thank you so much.
super chat, baby.
Oh
awesome.
my
Let's go.
gosh. That is
Wow.
amazing.
That's
No,
awesome.
we didn't
Thank
make
you, Keeler.
we didn't make stupid promises there, buddy.
Oh
we didn't
my
need to do
God.
that.
That's the first time I've ever
Holy.
liked an image of Carrot Top. I'm pretty sure that's Carrot Top as the avatar.
Thank you
I'll go
so
see
much.
a Carrot Top show now.
Let's
That's
go.
Look,
amazing.
you know what? I'm going to throw this out there.
Uh-oh.
If we can get to over 2,000 by the end of the show
For this show.
for this show,
So that number includes pregame.
for this show,
Okay, for this show.
you ever see the Hulk Hogan where
No!
he does the
Yes.
mutton,
Yes.
just
Let's go.
the mustache long, the
Oh my
platinum blonde?
God.
I'll do that.
Oh,
There you
I'll
go.
do that.
There you go.
Okay, so what we
There you go.
need then is like what, roughly 1,700?
No,
No,
so we have
1,300 more dollars.
$1,300 more dollars
1,300 more
tonight.
dollars
Yeah.
roughly, or 12
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
So we need to be at about 2,600 overall.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, listen, I'm just going to throw this one out there because anybody who's joining us late, it is PHNX Community Day here And what that means is every super chat from the entire day throughout the network, including this show, is going to be donated to Ryan House. And Ryan House is a really cool organization here in Phoenix.
Let's make this a little easier because Espo kind of confused people, I think, a little bit. If we get to 2,500 on this channel right now, as
2,500 right now,
then he'll do what you just asked.
Yes, absolutely. But Ryan House is an organization here in Phoenix that provides respite and palliative care to children who have life-limiting medical conditions and their families. They also provide hospice care for children as well. And the cool thing about Ryan House is that it's set up to be like a summer camp. So it's not like these kids have to go to a scary medical facility that feels really sterile and scary. You know what I mean? You walk in, it's colorful, it's bright. There are arts and crafts. There's baking and cooking happening. The volunteers will have water balloon fights with the kids or dress up at Halloween. It's such a fun place. It literally feels like you're going to summer camp. And that is such a fun release for these kids. It's a relief for families to know they have a place to tap into that will help support and love on and take care of their children in the same way that they do. Ryan House is so important. It is just so important. So Keeler and everyone in the chat who continues to donate and has donated so far, thank you guys so much. Really, really, truly appreciate it.
Thank you, for real.
And Espo's putting out all the promises tonight. In the pregame show, he said if we raised up $500,
Are we
you
really
would do.
making this transition?
I mean, it's the next ad read. I can skip it. We can do it a little later.
No, we can make
No,
this
maybe we should skip it and do it a little later. I don't know. It's the Cookie Monster Roman read. Should we skip it and do it a little? Let me read a couple other super chats and then we'll do it there.
Get a palate cleanser.
Get a palate cleanser. Okay. All right. Sal in the chat, thank you for your super chat, said Austin Reaves is him. Rude. But tonight, you're not wrong.
Thanks for your $1.99. MVP.
But tonight, you're not wrong. Whatever. Tyler, thank you for your super chat. Said Chris Paul is done, man. He's literally out there for no reason on both ends. I mean, he was our second highest scorer tonight, wasn't he?
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't get that.
I get it.
You do you, Tyler.
Chris Paul's not the player he used to be, but he still contributes, and I think he's still a good player.
Mm-hmm.
He's just not the same Chris Paul that he used to be. Trevor, thank you for your super chat. Said no sense of urgency with the team. Can KD just play?
It would be nice.
It would be nice.
It must be nice.
Hopefully
I'm
soon.
trying to get like you, my boy. Phoenix, thank you for your super chat. Said loud noises when Gerald and I were yelling at each other.
Correct.
Yes, that's a perfect analysis of what was happening. Randy, thank you for your super chat. Said, I appreciate the rant, Gerald. I'm with you on this one. Everyone chill.
Thank you, Randy.
We'll let Gerald say thank you
Glad
for
there's
that
one other person in the. There were a couple.
No, there is a couple.
There were a couple.
Shaban
Shaban?
said Gerald is right. They clean up fouls, all good.
Big if at this point.
I think
with
that's the
fouls.
biggest thing, right?
But
It's like we've been asking them to do that for a while, but also then Monty did just yell at them, so maybe we're good.
they've gotten in a bad habit. It's been the last few games in particular. Getting DA back will definitely help. Hopefully that happens soon.
Yeah, hopefully that happens soon. Laking, thank you for your super chat. Said, first of all, is it me or does Devin Booker keep getting his pocket picked by defenders? And for the Suns, the next 3 years all depends on KD's health, and it's scary without him because Book is on his own.
Okay. We don't know what they'll do in the offseason. There's a million things they could do. So I think that last part is only true for the remainder of this year. I'm not going to.
Kyrie.
I was just about to do that same thing.
Kyrie's coming home
This
today.
is like a purposefully antagonistic show.
This is the Make Gerald Mad show.
Oh God.
Well, to Cole, I'm not going to get all hot and bothered.
About what might happen.
Yeah, Gerald. I mean, come on.
Thank you for the perspective that I needed, Saul. It's not so hard.
Yes, it was.
Oh,
come on.
We were in a happy place.
Let's go.
Well, you went there, so you may as well. Go ahead, Espo. Take it away. Oh, wait. What are we doing?
We'll get my lawyer can wait.
Oh,
all right.
man.
Okay, we can talk about my lawyer first.
Let's talk about
Let's
it for
give
a minute.
him. Let's give him.
Hold
some
on, I
love.
was farther up. I gotta find it.
He's the perfect transition
It's on
into
the
the
screen.
Roman
Well,
read.
it's not on the screen. It was on the screen.
All right. We got a big time super chat from So Says Jay. $200 says,
Let's go.
see you guys at the parade.
$199.99.
Yeah, he couldn't afford that extra cent.
Damn,
I
you
shortchanged
guys.
He didn't find
him
the
on his
penny in
lawyer
the couch
bills.
like you said to go find.
You find all your pennies?
Thank you, So
Thank
Says
you,
Jay.
So Says
Thank
Jay.
you.
200 bones.
Yes,
Let's go.
That's
Awesome.
amazing. Thank you so much. All right. Espo?
Nookie Monster is here.
Oh,
And
Jesus.
it's because the refs screwed the Suns tonight, which means they took the Roman before the game.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes, they did.
You're not gonna make it through this.
You're not.
I am not. Me love cookies and Nookie. And Roman is here to help if you do too. Roman is a digital health clinic for men, addressing a variety of sexual health needs and offering genuine medication to help achieve and maintain a strong erection.
Oh, no.
Roman also offers discreet wipes like the refs use before game. Help them last 4 times longer in bed and while screwing Suns on the court in making bad calls. In men with low T, like the refs out there in tonight's game, getting testosterone level back up to normal can help increase libido and ability to call bullshit fouls. Roman offer testosterone test, which includes lab processing, so refs can know if they just suck at game calling or if it's appropriate for them to get treatment for said low testosterone. No waiting rooms for those refs. No hassle except for all the players yelling at them for being shitty at their game. Straightforward digital experience for them for the comfort of their home when they get suspended by Mr. Adam Silver. If medication or testing is appropriate for these stupid refs, we'll send it directly from Roman right to front door while they suspended. Everything arrived in discreet packaging, unlike their whistles, which aren't discreet. They're fucking bad. Oh, and it comes with 2 free days shipping. Don't you worry about that. Yeah. So to learn more about how refs can use Roman to screw over your favorite team, or how you can achieve your personal sexual health goals, like getting fucked by the refs, go to ro.co/PHNX to get your 20% off your entire first order. Me Nookie Monster and I go to ro.co/PHNX when I need to get that little extra oomph to get the Nookie or the cookie.
Wow. Oh, my God.
I am usually opposed to the Nookie Monster.
Wow.
But sir, well done.
That was your
very
best
well
one.
done.
Fuck the
God.
refs.
That was your best one.
Oh,
That was,
my God. Okay.
It's so hot in here now.
It is super.
Oh, I get you hot and bothered.
No.
Emma, mute him. He needs a break for 5 seconds.
Oh,
Even
man.
Sam in the chat is like, cut his mic, LOL.
Make more donations
Cut
for
his mic, LOL.
Please.
No.
No, please,
Oh,
no.
God.
He's I didn't realize Nookie Monster was illiterate too.
Nookie Monster don't read. I memorized.
Okay.
Now he can't stop.
Couple more things here with our chat. Devin, thank you for your super chat. Devin said, is Scott Foster Littlefinger or Ramsey Bolton in this game of Suns? Side note, I like both of those characters more than I like Scott Foster.
I actually thought Scott Foster was not bad tonight. I thought he was not bad tonight. I thought he
Wasn't he a part of the whole book thing that caused us our challenge?
the flailing thing.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to reset the whole thing. Like, what's going on?
So he deferred to the other official. I think the call was in front of him. I think he deferred to the other official who called it an offensive foul initially, and then Monty had to use his challenge. I don't know. It's Scott Foster, so I'll rarely say a good word about him. Honestly,
Agreed.
All right.
Scott Foster, fuck Suns.
He's gonna do the rest of the show like this now.
Flourishing hand. Emma's over here literally about to steal Espo's mic from him.
Stop.
I love the audio people. And she's like, what in the actual
is going on?
is going on
The
in my
audio
car?
people? You mean all the people?
Yeah.
Flourishing hand lettering. Thank you for your super chat. Said the quote, firing Monty comment is getting old. Thank you, Gerald, for saying something. It's getting old. Quick question. Should Damian Lee have more minutes?
I think so. I feel like he's kind of gotten lost in the rotation, and I feel like Landry Shame coming back makes sense because he's a bridge between the offense-only approach of Terrence Ross and the defense-only approach of a guy like Ish Wainwright or someone like that. I feel like Lee can defend okay. He had a shooting slump last month, but he's been good on limited attempts this month. I feel like he should get a little more burn and space the floor. I think he could help.
Yeah. Shioban, again, another super chat. Thank you. Said, I saw more gelling. TJ got minutes too. Go Landry. So were you surprised at all that TJ actually got legitimate playing time tonight?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm a little surprised. Actually, no, I'm not that surprised. I think Monty's trying some things. He did seem like he shortened up his rotation just a smidge. He didn't play 12 guys. He played like 10. But you got to see what TJ Warren's all about, like you do. And I think this is a good game to do that. I thought TJ didn't play very well. He was okay. He was, but the thing about TJ is you could tell it's because he hasn't played a lot. Like in a game setting, like he got a little bit out of position a couple times, and he knew he did, and he was like, damn it, you know what I mean? But like that doesn't improve unless you get reps in a game.
TJ was good defensively. I think he was better defensively tonight than offensively, which was kind of strange to see and welcome, because that's what he's going to have to do to stay on the floor. I think that's the biggest thing when you pair it with the hesitation he's had on offense to let it fly. And I think tonight he was better. He took 6 shots in 20 minutes, was 3 for 6, 6 points, 4 rebounds. And like I said, defensively, he was pretty capable. I don't know.
There was actually a couple times on offense where he was out of position, where Chris Paul had to kind of direct him, and he looked a little lost, which was a little strange. But defensively, you're right. I didn't feel like – I felt he played better defense than we've seen Terrence Ross play at times tonight.
For sure.
I know that's a low bar to cross, but right now that's one of the guys. But when
Terrence Ross is one of the guys that's getting the most playing time off the bench, it's a fair starting point to put that.
I don't blame Monty tonight, because tonight nothing was going. So he was trying to see if TJ Warren could be that spark offensively, or if you could just get him a little bit more comfortable at shooting. And at least he did shoot tonight. This was the first time since March 1st he had a point in the game. He had gone 5 games that he played minutes in scoreless since being here. He had 5 points in his first game, 2 in another game. Tonight was the most he scored since he returned to the Suns, with 6.
Right, and he played 11 guys tonight, but that was because Busy got 2 fouls in the first couple minutes, and so they had to get someone else in. And let's be honest, like, the center minutes were not great tonight between Busy and Jock. Like, Busy had a couple of good blocks, but other than that, offensively, he leaves a lot to be desired, and Jock shot wasn't falling tonight.
Jock had a rough game.
And when you're going up against Anthony Davis, like that's a tough matchup for either one.
I'm cool with the defensive part of that. I thought he, for the most part, he did his best.
He was physical. He tried.
He tried.
Yeah.
However, my guy, we got to stop shanking things off the backboard off of shots that are wide open. Like that just you can't do that, right? Like these are wide open shots. He took a 3-pointer and hit nothing but glass, and then he took another mid-range shot and did almost the same thing. He's got to improve in that area. If he's going to play in the playoffs, he's going to have to hit perimeter shots, like, because teams are going to leave him wide open for that, because they know he does a pretty good job down low. And so he's got to play at a much higher level, but he knows that.
Look, tonight is a night where you go, oh yeah, DA does mean something to this team. Everybody wants to complain and bitch and moan about DA, and he has his flaws, but a night like tonight's where you go, oh yeah, that is impactful, even when he has 17 and 9. Like that actually has a meaningful impact on the court out there. So keep that in perspective too.
I mean, Rob, thank you for your super chat. They said, can I sell my stake in Landale's Landing?
No,
non-refundable.
You got to buy more.
Just like your super chat. But thank you. Just kidding.
Psych.
A couple more super chats here, which keep them coming, everybody. It goes to a really good place. BBB, thank you for your super chat. Says, once our challenge was successful, I knew Scott Foster's whistle was going to get used a lot more against us.
Damn Scott Foster.
What? Well, I just need to know what happened. I need to know the why behind the hate.
For Chris Paul?
Yeah. I need the story. And I hope Chris Paul one day gives us the insight.
It'll
will
be
when
after
he's
he's
retired.
retired.
Yeah, I know, but he better actually tell us.
He might write a children's book about it, honestly.
Where did the man hurt you, Jimmy? Like, I mean, Scott Foster. This is where I can't get past this with the refs. Is the hate towards individual players or the teams that are with them? Like, put the personal stuff aside. Call the game. I get that you're going to tend to give superstars better calls because that's just kind of the way the league's built. But the personal bias against specific players is ridiculous to me. Set it aside. Call the damn game. That's what you're out there to do. You're not out there to try to show up everybody. You're out there to blow the whistle when appropriate.
Well, yeah, but they have egos, and that's the unfortunate part. And it's hard to accept that when your ego is leading your emotions and your actions. It's hard to take a hard look at yourself in the mirror and being like, that's not what it's about. And I'm doing a disservice to this game by being this way.
All right. We got to advance technology enough then to give us AI refs.
AI refs.
Screw the human element at this point.
Yeah. We got a super chat from Devin. Thank you, Devin. They said, I'm starting a GoFundMe for Monty's fines. Keep the fire alive, coach. Don't worry, Devin. I think that locker room has plenty of pennies. They can cover Monty's fine. But I appreciate the sentiment and the super chat for the kids. Thank you. Shaoban again with another super chat said, wow, Monty. Book walked off the court too at the end. He mad.
Yeah, he's been mad.
Yeah, I think so.
He's been mad. He's been trying to figure out ways to articulate it, and I feel like he's just running into the same brick wall every game with the way that, like, we talked about this. He needs to show a little more finesse in communicating with the refs if he wants things to change, because at this point he's just doing the same thing over and over again.
He needs to take a page from Bad Bunny. Drop a diss track about the refs.
Oh, boy.
See, I disagree. I actually think tonight could be, I'm hoping, and this is just my opinions on it in the moment, I think tonight Monty doing what he did is more impactful than anything Devin could do in terms of how he communicates with the officials.
Yes.
Because it's just based on what we've seen so far, officials have beef with players because they're competing egos. But when it comes from a coach, especially one like Monty, who is typically very reserved, I think that speaks louder.
I definitely. I think that catches more attention, like I said, at the league level, because that's so out of character for Monty.
And Monty saying it because Icon sent us a super chat and said last 4 games the opponent has gone to the free throw line 64 more times. Like the numbers plus what Monty's saying, I think all accumulate to maybe the NBA being like, let's take a little peek at what's going on over here in Phoenix real quick and see if we can get everybody off our backs for at least a hot minute. We'll see. I don't know.
Hope so.
Mr. Grimm wants to know, where'd the total amount go? It's only off the screen when we put up your guys' super chats. But Emma, what are we at right now? Money-wise. Or roughly.
Are we still adding or are we?
Okay, so we're at about a little over $1,500 right now. I'm just putting this out there. Last year, you guys beat this number.
Yes.
Last year, the Suns community alone, we raised $2,000. So we're at 15 this year. We got to get up to at least $2,000. We can't go backwards. We got to keep going forward and continue to climb.
Also, the Coyotes are about to start their post-game show. And they've been talking a lot of trash, saying that they were going to beat us in Super Chats today.
Oh, they said Suns fans suck.
They did.
Petey is literally here trying to tout that, and I don't really appreciate that. So we got to make sure not only we destroy the Coyotes, but we destroy them in the name of the kids.
Yes, because they also Coyotes already got a $500 Super Chat.
For the children.
So they're right on our heels.
They are.
Another 1,000 and you get me in the Hulk Hogan goatee.
Oh, dude, I want the Hulk Hogan goatee. You know what? I'll match that.
Wait, really?
I'm just going to dye this section. I'm not going to just shave the whole beard. I'm not doing the whole thing. But I will do the same thing.
Oh,
my voice cracked. I got so like, what? Because you're all like, your facial hair is like off limits all the time. Okay, so $2,500. Espo's shaving the crazy shenanigans,
And
and
I'll
Saul
dye
is
it
dying
platinum
it.
blonde too. I'll do.
Oh
yeah.
my God, you guys, you have to send in super
I'll go
chats.
for full Diamond Dallas Page over here.
Oh,
You
Oh,
have to
man.
send
Yeah,
in the
let's go.
super chats. Leo said, Espo, nice Dikembe Mutombo impression there.
It's Nuki Monster, but I see confusion. No, I get it.
Oh my God.
CV Craw, thank you for your super chat. Said, hard to win versus decent teams with 2 starters available, one of which is 38.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Pretty
100%. One Tug, thank you for your super chat. Said, it's time to start being realistic about this roster. Telling us to relax just seems lazy and irrational. How can we really think KD will stay healthy?
I think it's funny a guy named One Tug's talking about being relaxed.
Come on. Come on, man.
We're past that ad read, Espo.
Oh my God.
gosh.
I mean, I think there's a happy balance that we probably all should be trying to find here where
Really? Are we
She's
sure?
transitioning to an ad read. Don't you know where she's going?
no, it's not
Oh,
an
it's
ad
not
read.
the happy balance of ad read.
But you, Gerald, I will start this feud
I
up
literally
again.
said we need to find a happy medium between the two extremes. That's all I'm saying. I'm
But
not
you,
saying
you were also yelling
not
at us
saying-
for our feelings.
No, I'm not
Yes.
saying anyone can be discouraged or you can have doubts about whether this team will stay healthy. We knew that going into this when they made this trade. It was years and winning a title. And we also agreed that for 54 years as a franchise, the way the Suns had done it hadn't worked. It didn't work with this group, with them raising up McHale and Cam and Book and DA. And now they go all in on a top 15 player of all time. We knew this was going to be the thing. So that's my thing. We knew when the Suns announced it would be 3 weeks before he would be reevaluated, that he would be out a while and that they would struggle because guess what? They don't have Kevin Durant and they don't have the 2 starting caliber wings that they traded him for. My thing is like, we knew this going in. The losses are going to stack up a little bit, but they haven't lost ground in their playoff positioning. They've only lost a half game. And that was my point. It's not that you should feel great about where the Suns are or that they're going to magically get healthy and breeze their way to a title. Like, this shit is hard. It's not going to be easy, but I've been consistent from day one. It's not as much about home court for this particular team as it is about everybody being healthy and everyone having just a couple of games to get the chemistry because the West is wide open this year. And that's just my point.
Again, 100% right. But I got to last through the next week.
That's
where
fine.
I'm looking is, look, as long as you're not in the play-in, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Right? That's it. If you're in the 6th seed and you got to face the Grizz or the Kings, so be it. If you don't have home court in the first round, so be it. But if you have to play in the play-in, that's where it could be problematic with multiple guys still trying to work their way back to full strength. You need those 4 or 5 days off to set you up for your first round matchup. That's what I'm concerned about right now.
Agreed. And it's, like I said, that's a valid concern.
Gerald, you're going to make me start drinking again.
Why? Too much perspective and rationality?
No, you're discrediting my feelings, and I'm going to
I'm
go drink my
not.
feelings away, even though it will make my tummy hurt.
I feel like my words are being twisted into what I am not saying.
No, I'm just kidding. That was just a really bad attempt to transition into a Four Peaks ad read. My bad. I was struggling. I was writing things down.
Kind of figured that.
Yeah, I could have been worse.
Usually
also,
not
if you guys haven't caught up on the joke, I'm allergic. That's why I can't. So I was going to say I was going to risk it just to have some Four Peaks beer. That's the kind of like thinking there. It was,
Yeah.
again, it was
Risk it
bad.
for the biscuit.
Usually
Anyway.
not good to say that your tummy will hurt when you have something from one of the sponsors.
But it's not their fault.
It's not. But
I used to be able to before I developed my allergies. I did get down on some Four Peaks Kilt Lifter beer. It was one of my favorites that Four Peaks makes. They obviously have a
Back in the day.
wide range of beer that they offer, from the Suns Brew to the Wow Wheat and the Hazy IPA, everything in between. And if you are also a Cardinals fan, you know they've got a new coach, a new GM, the 3rd pick in the draft, and it's going to be a big opportunity for the Cardinals and the best place to take in this pivotal moment and the rest of the NFL draft on April 27th is at Four Peaks 8th Street Pub. So make sure you check it out. But you do have to be 21 years or older, and we ask that you enjoy responsibly. Saul, you're up.
Oh, hey, guys. we have a tea party on Friday. You should wear some Bad Birdie merch because it's dope as hell.
It
And you
is.
should get some. I'm not wearing Bad Birdie. I'm wearing this dope ass KD shirt, but you can go
Slim
to
Valley Reaper.
Oh yeah, my bad. Slim Valley Reaper. You can go to Bad Birdie and get yourself a 15% savings by going to badbirdiegolf.com and using promo code PHNX Sports_15. It's that simple. And come wear it at the tea party, and I'll buy you a drink. How about that? Buy you a drink. Come out to the tea party. It's this Friday. We still have a few spots available, so that's dope. So get your tickets and have fun and wear some Bad Birdie merch. It's dope.
Yes. Wear some Bad Birdie merch.
Did I say it's dope? I think it's dope.
It's super dope.
I heard it's fly.
No.
No, you took it too far now. Aunt B, thank you for your super chat. They said one team is going to have KD in the playoffs. Not worried. I mean,
Hopefully that's not IR.
Oh,
Injured reserve, anyways.
come on, man.
What do you want from me?
not that.
What do you want?
That was very bad.
That
That was very, very bad.
Didn't like that at all. Mr. Grimm, thank you for your super chat. Said, what's everyone's favorite number? I need to stop thinking about this game.
Hey, Saul, what's your favorite
3
number?
and 17.
32.
Oh,
11.
11. Thank
Saul,
you.
come on.
I set it up.
No, I'm 33.
33,
33.
4.
4, and yours is 3 and what?
32.
And I'm 3 and 17.
3 and what?
Why are threes like everyone's thing?
I mean, 33 was because Grant Hill was my favorite to watch as a kid.
But I
Yeah.
feel like there's a lot of threes.
Is yours a Jason Kidd thing?
No.
So
Oh, no, mine's
Magic.
mine's Magic.
It's okay.
That's
You
fine.
were a guard. I
Yeah.
mean,
I wasn't 6'9" as a guard
What's y'all's favorite
because I wouldn't
numbers?
be sitting here right now.
well, you still might be.
Be outside shots with Saul Bookman instead of outside shots with Eddie shots.
And then we also have a super chat from Cy. I think Cy, CY. Thank you. We appreciate it. $20 said playoffs.
In the words of Pitbull, playoffs.
Playoffs. We're going to get there. And then we got a super chat from Espo's wife, Tracy. She sent in $50, but she said, for the love of God, no, when it comes to your shenanigans.
I think she did the opposite of what, like, donating puts me closer to doing the goatee thing. So
that's because she cares about the kids, Espo.
that's
She's
fair.
willing to take one for the team for the kids.
I'm willing to donate $1,000 of her money to get us where we need to go.
Code. Let's go.
Code hit us with the $50 super chat and said, Girth, screw your positivity. I've been a Suns
Here
fan
we
since
go.
2000, and I have learned that whatever can go wrong will go wrong with this organization.
All the positivity of turn the new leaf, Matt Ishbia. Now it's like, burn this shit down.
I just can't with the roller coaster.
Oh, my
with you
goodness
guys.
gracious. Okay,
You can't buckle up. There's 2 more months,
Oh
hopefully.
my gosh.
I'm fine.
we did have a question in the chat, though. Jerry wanted us to talk about campaign.
Sure.
What about campaign?
I mean, I feel like campaign played pretty good defense tonight.
He was fine. I mean, he's 7 points, 3 for 7, was a +5 in 14 minutes off the bench. You can get away with that in the playoffs. Like if that's what he is in the playoffs and not too many turnovers, he only had 1 tonight. You can live with that. It's the nights where he comes in and doesn't defend well, commits too many turnovers, doesn't shoot the ball well. That will really catch up with you. And then those bench rotations will feel really rough, even if they're only out there for 10 minutes or so. So yeah, he was fine tonight. I feel like he's still trying to work his way back to being a consistent X factor off the bench, but he was okay.
I think campaign is kind of a good reflection of what a lot of those guys were out there today. Just kind of like not really a factor either way. Like if you left this game and you're like, and I asked you, did so and so play? You couldn't definitively be like, oh yeah, he played. You know what I mean? Like that's what I feel like. One of the things that happens sometimes is you just kind of get lost in the game. And because you're not really making an impact on either end of the court. And I feel like that's kind of what campaign was. Like he did a little bit of this, a little of that, but nothing that really stood out. And that's not a good thing when you're missing key players like DA and KD. You need guys to step up. You need guys to play a little bit better than they normally do. You need guys like Torrey Craig to really come with that energy and ball out. And I would say out of the 11 guys that played, maybe 2, maybe 3 showed up tonight. Everybody else just kind of just played their normal game, which is not good.
See, I actually felt like Cam should have played more tonight. 14 minutes seemed a little light when he shot, 1 of 2 from 3-point land, had 7 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, and a steal. Like, I felt like he was all around, played pretty solid defense. Offensively, seemed to have at least a little bit of his jumper and floater going tonight. I would have liked to have seen more minutes out of him in a night where you were struggling to find anybody to pick up the offensive line alongside Devin Booker. I could have used some more campaign minutes tonight.
I feel like that's ignoring what Landry Shame did, though. Like, Shame was legitimately good off the bench. He was the only guy that was like legitimately good off the bench tonight.
I agree, but like, if you're gonna get creative with lineups, right? Just start getting super creative. Put the guys out there that are scoring.
But I feel like Shame it was, and I feel like that's the problem. Like, not you, but everybody talks about how like, oh, we need to get rid of the all bench lineups. They did that tonight. They staggered the lineups tonight. So like, to hear that campaign didn't play enough, it's like, okay, pick one. Like, what do you guys want?
I mean, I get it. Like, and it's tough. Like, where do you get the minutes? Are you going too small? Chris Paul had a decent offensive game. Landry Shame, Devin Booker, and campaign. So it was all your guards tonight that showed up. So it becomes difficult because, what are you going to run 4 guards out there and Bismack Biyombo? Probably not the right way to have success against AD and this team tonight. But it's tough because you're like, okay, well, this was one guy that had it going, but you're right. It is a numbers crunch at some point with this group when all the guards are the ones having good.
We need a Kogi to hit shots again.
Yeah, I need him to come back to his knockdown 3-point shooter era. He needs to enter that again. You know what?
February
I do want to give out a couple flowers real quick to Devin Booker and name him our player of the game because we really haven't talked about Devin tonight, but another 30-point game. He finished with 33 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds. Look at that flower crown.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Look at it, you guys.
Placement.
It is here. And it is perfect.
Look what I made Emma do.
It looks like a religious experience tonight with Devin Booker.
He looks like Caesar.
We're combining crowns and flowers, and it's fantastic.
Too close to the Ides of March to be Caesar.
Oh,
we don't need his teammates to stab him in the back, all right?
The age of Aquarius.
Aquarius.
It's great close to a movie.
Okay, a couple more super chats. Sly, I asked what their favorite number was. Sly's the only one that answered me, and they answered in a super chat. Said number 4, Harbaugh. So there's that.
Okay.
Little Jim Harbaugh from the Indianapolis Colts there.
And then Devin sent another super chat. Thank you, Devin. It said, idea for a Roman ad. Dylan Brooks talking about testosterone or T levels while on the court. He gets a tech, then turns to camera and says, quote, if you want to get teed up like me, subscribe to Roman.
Hey, it's perfect. He's a total dick, so why not have him in the ad?
Oh,
Honestly, Devin, like,
that's not bad.
that's not a bad idea
not bad.
at all. It really isn't. Oh my goodness gracious. And then Code gave us another $50 super chat. Thank you so much, Code. Said everything we want is on the other side of a DA trade. Brooke Lopez to the Suns, 23-24.
Listen, because you donated $49.99, I'll let you have this one. I'll let you have this one. But you're wrong.
If I speak, I will be in trouble.
Hold on. I'm going to tell you, I think I already figured out what the DA trade is. Gerald's head's about to explode.
I'm worried.
But this is going to be a sign and trade with the Dallas Mavericks for one Kyrie Irving.
Oh.
And that's how that's going to go down.
I want to agree with you. Until I've been watching this atrocity down low that we have seen for the last 4 or 5 games, or for the last 2 games without DA. And I'm just like, no.
I mean,
no.
They're not the answer, like, because they're not starting caliber centers. No offense to Jock or Busy.
But that doesn't mean you can't spend $10 million and find that guy.
Yes.
I'm right. I know where Gerald's going.
If I speak, I will be in trouble.
So hold on.
That guy?
Gerald just said you could trade DA for Kyrie.
I did not say that. No.
You
did.
Go
back. That's not what I said. That's not what I said. Hypothetical trades. I'm saying you could find what you're looking for elsewhere. It's not currently on the roster.
These aren't the droids you're looking for.
Stop it. Stop it.
All right.
52. We're only 148 away from our target from last year.
Okay.
We got past it by at least $1.
Come on, guys. We're getting closer. We're getting closer. Renee.
Suck it up, Emma. We're gonna be here all damn night.
$660 away from Saul and I doing something stupid.
Guys, get it. You got to make this happen.
You have a mic, don't you?
Did they? Oh,
Do it.
she said, "Put your
I don't
money where
know
your
how to
mouth is."
pronounce the super chat here. I feel like it's Renee. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Renurge 626.
Renee RJ 626.
Renee RJ 2626. There we go. I'm really sorry I butchered that, but I really do appreciate your super chat. Said, let's just remember all the quote Suns fans that hated on DA, Monty, Jones, and Booker when he can't quote carry the team alone. When we win the ring, they will swear they always believed. Gerald, quote, don't panic. Clapping emoji. Thank you for your super chat.
Gerald, if you poo-poo on my excitement, if they do win a title,
I won't.
fisticuffs, my friend.
I won't. I will sit here and be the smuggest motherfucker alive.
Run that clip back. I told you.
I will sit here and be smug as hell, but I will not rain on anybody's
better not.
parade.
And then Sai, thank you so much. A $100 super chat said, anger is overrated.
Thank you, Sai.
100%.
I
It really
agree.
is. Even though I got a little bit angry earlier in the show, you're right. It's overrated.
Have you watched the latest Ted Lasso?
Mm-mm.
They said tears is the orgasm for the soul. I believe it's anger.
I think you're
Roman.
wrong.
Roman. Hard feelings. Roman.
You guys are a mess. Tim from Phoenix, thank you for your $50 super
Ooh,
chat.
thank
We
you, Tim.
appreciate you. Said Shaman is going to hit 35 and go for a game winner in the playoffs, and it will be glorious. Tim, I literally said that during this game because I am officially Landry's biggest fan, and I'm not even like joking here. I feel genuinely bad for Landry. He catches so many L's all the time. Landry came back from injury after missing a boatload of time and has been the only consistent player off the bench. He deserves some gosh darn flowers. And if Landry does this in a playoff game and Saul has to do whatever it is we all vote that he has to do, I'm going to be, Gerald said, I'll sit here and be smug, but I won't rain on your parade. I will be the most insufferable person the whole entire day forever.
You know what?
Like, it's just going to be ridiculous.
You know, I feel for my man Saul.
It's not for Saul.
No, listen.
It's just the Landry
No,
part.
listen.
At this point, it's just for Landry.
I feel for my man Saul. So you know what? Saul, we're brother in arms in this. Whatever happens at 35, we'll do it together. If it happens this year.
You know why he said that? It's because it ain't gonna fucking happen. It ain't gonna happen, especially not in the damn playoffs. That would be one of the most epic comeback or 35-point games we've ever seen
It
from
would be
anybody.
fantastic.
Can anybody tell me when the last player in a playoff series, playoff game, whatever, had at least 35 points coming off the bench?
Dang, not in a playoff game, no. Jamal Crawford had 50 late in the regular season.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you and Jamal Crawford.
Eddie,
Yeah.
Playoffs,
I'm
Lindsay.
going to say
Playoffs.
Eddie
I just said
Johnson.
I don't know in the playoffs.
Just because I love EJ. Just get that on
Maybe.
the record.
Well, why
I
you
feel
look
like
it up?
someone had to have done it recently.
While you guys look it up,
Well-
I'm going to shout out Leo because Leo just hit us with a $200 super chat, you guys.
Oh, wow.
So 200
go,
additional
Leo.
dollars.
Let's
Thank you
go.
so much, Leo.
Oh,
we
wow.
appreciate you. They said, love you guys. We love you back. All of you guys. Honestly, thank you all for being here. If you've super chatted or not, we still really appreciate all the support. But thank you guys. This is so awesome.
400 away from hair hijinks.
We're almost there.
So Goran Dragic had to be pretty close. I don't
He had
remember what
25.
was it 25, and he had 23 and a quarter.
So
off
I
the
think
bench,
Lou
so.
Will did it twice, 2019, 2020. Tyler Hero did it 2020. Nick Van Exel in 2003. Curry technically did it in 2016. I think that was when he was coming back from
So you're
injury.
saying there's a chance.
So it's Lou Will, Steph, and Tyler Hero basically that have done it in the last 5 or so years. So it's
Landry
it's
Shame
rare.
kind of fits that category, though.
So
I mean,
you're
look, it's-
saying there's a chance.
I'm impressed with how good Landry has looked in his first 2 games back. 10 points in his first game, 15 tonight. He shot 6 for 12 from 3, 9 for 17 overall. He's been good defensively like we knew he would be. it's great for him and also kind of an indictment of the Suns bench right now that he's able to come back in after missing 2 months and be like the guy off the bench so far. That's a little concerning to me, but Landry, I mean, he had that one play where he dove for the loose ball that got them back, helped them end that third quarter on a strong note and pull within one because he dove on that. I don't know what Wenyen Gabriel was thinking, but he dove on the loose ball, got it to Book, and he had that big and one. Like he's doing the little things that they need out of guys off the bench right now.
We do realize now that I jumped in this foxhole with Saul that it's going to happen on Friday.
It totally
right?
is.
So
We realize that's going to happen.
So
right?
upset.
So
Saul.
funny.
You didn't even know.
I didn't even think about what he was doing.
He was trying to be heroic, but he really just took you down with him.
I really
That's
just
really all
sunk
that
our own
happened.
battleship,
He
Saul.
did.
Emma, do you have the total tally from all the chats today or all the teams today?
Yeah, but it's not updated with Coyotes.
That's fine.
okay.
That's
Just give
fine.
us what you
Just
got
give us
so
what we
far.
have right now, plus all the other teams outside of the Coyotes.
Or
That's not it. Yeah.
So that was
Just-
after pregame.
Just give us one.
Just add it
just
up
give
and
us
tell
one
us
number.
what it-
Yeah, you
what
don't
it
have to
looks
pull up a
like.
graphic. We just
Yeah.
did the number.
yeah, just
So
give us
before
one.
Yeah.
Suns and Coyotes got going, I think we were at like $1,072.
I think before Suns and Coyotes even started, we were at 1,072. And then we had
So-
600 in the pregame, so
Right.
we're talking like 1,700 roughly before the show started.
Okay.
Add the bottom four plus the 2,066.
Okay.
Li-
So while you do
live
that,
math.
let me read a few more that have just recently come in. One tug said, "One more tug. Is it true that KD is made of glass?"
They're just doing this now to get you to say
know.
this
Oh,
stuff.
I know, it's
I think
okay.
he meant AD, and yes, if you meant AD, he's made
No,
of
he
glass.
said no, or they
K-
said KD.
KD ain't made of no glass.
I don't think KD's made of glass. I think you could make the argument at this point in his career that he might be injury prone,
Mhm.
but I don't think he's made of glass.
He's not made out of glass.
I won't go that far.
Made out of fiberglass. But
Yeah. And then Shioban again, thank you so much. Said, no to Kyrie. A deep bench solves it. I mean,
I will say this: they definitely need to. I wouldn't say overhaul the bench, but they need to add some key pieces. I honestly, the one thing that I feel like sticks out the most now that Mikhail is ironically gone is just the length. You saw the Lakers have a lot of length tonight, especially Vanderbilt. You could say it out loud.
Right.
is this really where we're at?
No
Oh
way.
my
Nice.
God.
Holy shit.
You guys.
Wow.
Dope.
I'm going to cry. You guys, we're at just under $4,400.
Wow.
Last year, like I said, we raised $2,000. Our goal this year, like behind the scenes, was $5,000, and we are almost there. And this is freaking amazing.
Craig
Oh
Morgan
my
is texting me
God.
live right now saying, get off the air
He's
already.
texting me
Oh.
too.
You guys, I'm
That's
so
amazing.
happy. I love you all. All right, couple more. Durantula, thank you for yours. Said slim fit Saul over skinny jeans Saul.
Hey,
They
hey,
like these pants better than the ones you wore the other night, apparently.
Hey, Emma, can you put a countdown on the
Captain
screen and give him
Cabs.
another 4 minutes on the show? Let's say 4 minutes
4
left in the
minutes,
show.
all right.
4 minutes.
Get
yeah,
in,
4 minutes.
get in your donations. We're
4
cutting it off in
minutes?
4
Yeah,
minutes.
4 minutes.
Bro,
Bro,
Bruh.
what?
we need like at least 7.
Why?
Give me 5 minutes, Emma.
Yeah, that's a happy medium.
Okay, well, hold on. 5
It's
minutes
700
after this.
degrees in this place. right
You'll be fine. We haven't even been live for an hour.
Okay.
We're normally live for an hour. You guys are fine.
Okay.
Give me this, okay? One more super chat and then one additional thing. Then we can put a 5 minute
Okay,
thing.
fine.
Okay. So
fine.
Manuel gave us another super chat. Thank you, Manuel. Appreciate you. Said favorite moments when Saul sneezed that woke the dead.
Yes.
Espo's Cookie Monster voice, Gerald's South Park rendition of Hey Silver Bells, and Lindsay's villain draft of quote unquote heroes.
that
That's
wasn't
great.
all time.
Those were
right
all
there.
really fantastic moments. Manuel, thank you for being here with us throughout all of those moments.
Oh, man.
It's been really fun.
All right,
Oh,
Code.
no.
All right, Code.
Oh, no. All right, Code hit us with $100 and said Kyrie over Ayton.
Oh,
Code
man.
with the hot takes today.
Oh,
Coming in hot.
I will.
Code, if you donate money, we'll read whatever take you want.
I will accept that.
That's
we
awesome.
accept
Thanks,
your
Code.
$100 donation to Ryan House. No, but for real though, Code, thank you for being here. Thank you for all of your donations. We appreciate having this community with you guys. Musab gave us $13.70 or 67 Canadian dollars. Said Luca money sign.
Mm-hmm.
Luca money sign. Big. Yeah, I don't know how that works.
I don't know what the conversion rate is.
I have no
on
idea
that.
what the
Just
conversion rate is.
Google
Luke!
Canadian.
You know what? That's fine. Just leave it there.
Luke, thank you.
What?
Luke just gave us a $250
Shit, we're getting
super
real
chat.
close here.
Said bedtime with the sleepy emojis.
Cut it off.
Luke, thank you so much. So truly appreciate the donation. If you have to leave this show a little bit early for your bedtime, sleep well.
Cut
Thank
it
you.
off.
We appreciate it. One more. Hold on. Big Sexy. Again, Canadian dollars, $27.99. Get DA a power forward. Everyone hates on him and compare him to stars who have someone good. Well,
$42. Cut it off.
okay, here we go. Thank you, Big Sexy.
Oh,
Appreciate
snap.
the super chat. Here, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna play you a video. It's 1.5 minutes long, okay? It just gives you a little bit of insight as to what prompted Ryan House to be even created in the first place, and some ideas behind what it's like to be a parent and a child at Ryan House. So just watch this, then we'll put 5 minutes on the clock.
Okay.
We were living in England when our youngest son, Ryan, was born and subsequently diagnosed with a life-limiting condition called spinal muscular atrophy. We referred to an amazing resource called Helen House, and we didn't know it at the time, but later learned that it was the first children's hospice in the world. We knew that if our family was a family in need, that there had to be so many other families in need as well.
My entire family lives our best life out loud because Ryan House is here. Every time we go, the house rises up to celebrate her.
It's incredible to share the stories of our kids and our families with the community.
It is the gold standard for how to take care of children in the United States. They deserve a place that they can play and feel free.
Since opening our doors in 2010, we have seen almost 900 kids and families for respite and for hospice.
Phoenix is incredibly lucky to have this resource, and the house is incredibly lucky that Phoenix has embraced them and continues to support them so we can continue to provide this incredible gift to all these families.
And that is Ryan House, 10 years of Ryan House.
So, of course, that was a video that Ryan House put together to celebrate their 10-year anniversary a few years ago. But it gives you a little bit of insight into just how important this organization is to the families that utilize their services. And it allowed you to see maybe a little bit inside of Ryan House as well, like the colorfulness and the things that the kids get to participate in. I honestly cannot tell you guys how much I truly, genuinely appreciate this. I'm going to literally cry. I literally did not think we would raise this much money.
Oh,
It is super cool.
It is cool. Hell yeah.
Let me cover my face.
Wow.
Well,
listen, it's pretty impactful. You know, Lindsay came and did this. She had brought this charity up last year when I was talking about I would like to do something for charity. And then we went out to after we raised money, you know, and this is before the fact, before we had even really known too much about Ryan House. We just knew a little bit of it. And then when we went to the actual banquet or the breakfast, and you got to hear personal stories from some of these families that were really you know, going through it, and it was just unbelievable. It was just unbelievable. And you know, when I tell you, like, the amount of money that we've raised goes to, like, directly to them to help them out is significant. And when you see somebody like Lindsay who truly cares about this organization, you know, she MCs their events and she does a great job, and she's real passionate about you know, helping the community. It's really heartwarming to see. And to be truthful, you know, like we talked about this. Originally, we were going to do it just the Suns show, and then we decided, you know what? Let's have the whole day dedicated to this.
And everybody embraced it.
And everybody embraced it. And in fact, there was other people that asked if they could maybe do a charity of their own down the road. And so we've compiled a list of different charities that we want to do. And we just want to give back. And that's something that we've always been about. We've always been about trying to do as much as we can for the community in a sports sense. But there's another aspect to this where you're actually helping people and helping, the areas that you live in. And, and I mean, just look at the impact that it has, not only on these families, but also on the people that are trying to give back to those families.
Yeah, I mean, we joke around a lot here. We give each other a hard time a lot, but I know how much this means to Lindsay and how close Ryan House is to her heart. I'm glad that we can be so supportive of it as a company, as a group. Thank you all for coming up so big on this. I know we, did some goofy things to get the money. I know I'll look ridiculous probably on Saturday when I do this, and the missus will be in the chat yelling at each and every one of you. But this is the kind of stuff we're here for. This is why we have a community like this, so we can do things to help those that are less fortunate and that need our help. So thank you all for this, and Lindsay, thank you for bringing it to us.
Yeah, I mean, thank you guys for being on board with it. I'm so, and all of you guys too. Like, this is super awesome. So we do have a couple more super chats to read. It is official, you guys. We got over the $2,500 mark as
Let's go.
a Suns community.
Damn it.
Let's go.
Which means that Espo and Saul are going to be looking real goofy real soon. Okay, so another $20 super chat from Renee RJ626. So you were correct, Saul. That's their name. Said, I will ruin everyone's parade that hated on our Suns team. Too many bandwagon fans nowadays. The real ones believe regardless. Come on now. We have DA and a top 10 player coming back. Suns info. Thank you, Renee. Steven, thank you for your $20 super chat. Said, let's go.
Can I read the next one?
Yes, you can.
This one's from Connor, $2,500. Bang! That's a Mike Breen reference.
I would have preferred onions, but I'll take bangs.
Rick Tastic, thank you for your super chat. They didn't have a comment in it, but it was $20 and it was their first super chat. Thank you.
I think there was one for, here's what Rick said. He said, I was Ryan's 6th grade teacher, loved him and his whole family. Happy to donate tonight in the name of an amazing young man whose light will be felt for so many more years. Thanks for partnering. From Rick Tastic.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Thanks, Rick.
Whew, boy. Okay, a couple more. Rach, thank you for your super chat. Said, I'm so happy you guys did this again with a heart emoji. Me too. This was really cool. And then Manuel with another super chat said, Lindsay is every Suns fan the last 50 plus years. LOL, but for reals, great stuff. Y'all are the best. This is what everyone's going to look like when it eventually does happen. It's going to be even more embarrassing though.
My wife says, good luck explaining your new face to your kid, dude. It's going to last for one day, and then I'll just be shaved.
That is true.
Which is worse than the goatee, I'll tell you that. So.
Eric, thank you for your super chat. Didn't include a comment that I can see just yet, but it was their first super chat. Thank you. Devin, another super chat. Thank you. Said, can't wait to see y'all at Dobson Ranch on Friday.
Let's go.
You guys are so rad for helping out people and families in need. Weird question from a fairly new follower, but how does Gerald spell his nickname Girth?
It wasn't even my choice, but it was with an E.
It's with an E.
Yeah. Hey. Welcome to Girth!
Because it's like Earth and Girth combined.
Yep.
So that's where I think that one came
so
from.
Heads up. Our friend and former producer, the turncoat Shane Diefenbach, who's no longer on our show, said the Coyotes are catching up, and I'm watching live. They're at $1,800.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
This is gonna be this is a fun night so far.
Wow. This is insane. Absolutely
That's cool.
insane.
We're gonna come close to I think $6,000 today, which is amazing. Amazing.
That's
incredible.
3 times more than we raised last year.
This is insane.
And obviously, like we're hoping that this will just keep building and building and building. Like we know, like places like Bally's and 98.7 will do a charity drive and a telethon, and usually they incorporate some things that you can bid on, or when you contribute so much money, you get something back too. And maybe at some point we will look at that kind of paradigm. But for this, I just think that it's just important to give back. And yeah, I think it's pretty cool.
See what Code just said. How much to make Saul retire that win Win.
I still love that you get blamed for that.
I know. I love that people think that it's you.
Gerald,
still.
can you just do it one time?
I kind of want to keep the mystery going.
Gerald's like,
honestly.
no, I like that you're taking the blame for
That
this.
was not
one.
me.
By the way, if you guys enjoyed our Roman read today, if you
might
after
wanna-
we're done,
yeah.
go over to the Coyote stream.
Yes.
I heard there's going to be an actual song.
Yes.
Oh my
Yes.
God.
Petey is playing the guitar, and it is fantastic.
I want to see each and every one of you over there just to see that
Yeah.
song. It'll be that good.
One more from Laking. Thank you, Laking, for your $10 super chat. Says, shout out PHNX. This is heartwarming, helping people. Love it. And for these refs, they take things personally. I shouldn't know their names. Scott Foster, Tony Brothers. Why do I know their names? That is
question.
a super great question.
%.
We really shouldn't have any idea who these officials are.
Yeah,
No.
for sure.
That-
Like,
And
if
not,
that doesn't put perspective to it, I don't know what will.
yeah, and not to dehumanize anybody, but like when you're watching a game and one of the top trends is the name of the lead official in that game, typically not going very well.
Yeah,
Not
for
great,
sure.
Bob.
Oh my goodness gracious. All right. Well, I think we went over the 5-minute mark that you guys had like asked about
Yeah, I think we
like
did.
10 minutes ago. Freddie, you got your super. I'm just going to say real quick. Right now is like the last call for super chat, so we can read them all before we actually say goodbye.
There we go.
Thank you guys again. Freddie, thank you for your $20 super chat. We appreciate it. This has been really amazing. I'm super proud and thankful that as a community, we've been able to do this and raise this much money. It means so much more than I think you even know. Don't forget the tea party this Friday happening at Dobson Ranch. Tickets are available. You do get a discount if you're a diehard, and you can find that in the diehard Discord. It's going to be a blast. Come hang out with us, especially like, and if you come and you donated, please come tell me like what your name is on YouTube, because I know some of them are just like fun things, so that we can thank you in person too.
Also, real quick, somebody actually said it. Eli in the chat said Coyote stream rate. And if you can't remember, a little while back on the Cardinals show, way back earlier in the year, some Packers guy who's like a very popular guy said, hey, we're going to raid this PHNX Cardinals chat. And all of a
They got
sudden,
raided?
our numbers got like 800. We had like 800 viewers or something. Like, it was crazy. Well, guess what, Suns fans? Let's go over to the Coyotes chat and just raid.
Oh,
Just
we're
throw
raiding
it. Oh, yeah, just
Yeah,
throw
we're
it.
going to actually
Say-
go into their
just- and just
studios
say
for
Suns
PD's
raid. Just put in a comment, Suns raid.
Let's
and
do
let's
it.
show them who's boss. Let's
Oh,
go.
Show 'em
that's
some
fun.
love.
That'd be fun.
I like this
We'll put
idea.
their link in the chat here, and you can run right over there after we
Oh
sign
my
off.
gosh.
That's
All right.
awesome.
Leo with another super chat, $10. Thank you. Said in honor of Al Shazam McCoy.
There you go.
Good night, guys. All right. I'm exhausted now because this was very emotional, but in the best way possible. Thank you guys once again for being here with us. Thank you for helping us donate all of the money. We'll have a show for you tomorrow at 3 p.m. So plan to come hang out with us live. If you can't catch us live, of course, you can find us and listen to us wherever you get your podcast. Just make sure you rate, review, and subscribe because it helps us out a lot. Until we see you tomorrow, you can follow the show at PHNX_Suns. You can follow me at Lindsay Smith AZ. You can follow Saul at Saul_Bookman. You can follow Gerald at Gerald Bourget. And of course, you can follow Espo at Espo.
We love you guys.
Espo, take us home.
Thank you all. In all seriousness, thank you all for tonight. Ahoy, hoy.
Hey yo, my lifestyle is retro. Tell the Phoenix Metro. Megas in control and he ain't never gonna let go. PHNX though, Lindsay, Gerald, Espo. Saw pass the ball, we here to turn up the tempo. Got to understand me.